Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
We're in Andertons in Guildford in sunny, wonderful England today.
I had to double check my t-shirt actually said Andertons on it. Have I got dinner on my t-shirt?
Lee, I understand some hot chick has moved in next door.
That's right, Chappers. I've got a new neighbour.
New neighbour. Audio Effects USA.
So, the new neighbour, one of my guys said to me about...
Do you have a lot of guys?
About a year ago. Yeah, one of my guys, you know. He said to me, you've got to check out the New Neighbour pedals. This is last year. They had this range of, or still do, have this very cool range of pedals that are software driven. So, and it's reverbs, delays, choruses, shimmer type reverbs. And the idea is you can buy one of their pedals, hook it up to your PC and download any kind of a little bit like a TC kind of tone print thing, but way higher kind of quality, sort of like Strymon-y kind of quality. Strymon-y
type quality. I just heard Rabia's ears prick up like this.
Yeah. And so we started stocking these pedals. They're very affordable, or at least relative to Strymon, you know, very affordable. And we've sold loads of them. But there's the one criticism, I suppose, of them is that there are some people that just don't want to plug their pedals into their computers to be able to sort of edit and reassign them.
Yeah.
So I'm probably overcomplicating this. The go and check out the New Neighbour range if you want to know more about this. But this year, and probably the biggest selling New Neighbour pedal to date, is the first one that they've done which you don't need to plug into your computer. So what they've kind of done is taken all the best bits from what people were downloading and editing and gone, let's put it in a pedal. So it's called the Immerse Reverberator.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And it is, basically, it's mainly their reverbs. I can't even say reverb, it's reverb, isn't it? Anyway, but it's mainly their reverbs.
This is, not crossed down, a toy.
Which I think is a brilliant strapline because, of course, normally you wouldn't want to call your piece of kit a toy, you know, because that implies it's cheap and nasty. But they've gone, this is not a toy, and crossed out the word not because it is a toy. And I think what they kind of mean is that it's a super pro piece of kit. But when you plug it in, you're going to feel like you've got the coolest new toy ever. So look, we're going to plug this in with some cool guitars, put it down on the floor, tell you a bit more about it as we play. We're going to put it into the effects loop of a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. Do you know what? I'm looking at that camera rather than that camera. Sorry about that for the weirdness.
I can definitely confer. This smells Immerse.
Yeah. Smells Immerse. Yeah. Sorry about the weirdness.
What's a shim level?
So shim reverb is when you get that sort of pitch shifted reverb. So you play the note, you get a big reverb, and then you get like an octave above, almost like that sort of 12-stringy kind of effect as part of the reverb.
This is something designed by Geiger.
It's mega. It's absolutely mega. I can't remember how much they are, but they're less than £200.
Made in the USA.
Yeah, made in the USA.
Lead-free. There's no lead in it, which you can tell because it's quite light. Well, you know, I've got the perfect guitar to show this off with.
I had a pencil with no lead in it once. It's completely stereo.
How did you write?
Stereo in, stereo out. It is a buffered bypass pedal, and there's a reason for that because if you buy a true bypass reverb or delay pedal, when you switch the pedal off, it completely switches all the effect off, which is very unnatural, which is why all this most good sort of reverbs and delays are not true bypass.
Yes.
Albeit that there's some cool stuff on here that you can switch off. The dry signal going through the pedal stays completely analog, so it's only the affected signal that is digital. And depending on the type of effects loop that you've got on your guitar amplifier, you can kill the dry signal going through here. So if you have like a parallel effects loop where the effects loop itself keeps some of the dry signal and blends some through the pedal, you may find the fact that there's also some dry signal coming through the pedal unhelpful. I believe on the Hot Rod Deluxe that it is a series effects loop, so essentially the entire guitar signal is going to go through the pedal.
Cool.
So we won't kill the dry signal on here. I think, you know, let's just plug it in and get some tones. The bulk of this video is now not going to be about us talking, and is hopefully about us just getting some really mega.
High-end tones.
Yeah, just beautiful. I want to play all that kind of haunting,
Okay.
mega
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I think I've got something that we need. So
Yeah. I hope you bought an appropriate guitar with you for that kind of.
Yeah. So if we just,
Okay.
it's gonna be great. This has probably got everything that we require.
I had something else, it's a little different in mind to that, but you want to use a dime Razorback with EMGs, 7 strings. Your inner child is coming out here.
What's your better idea?
Well, I was kind of thinking, I know it's not a terribly attractive looking guitar and, it's not brilliantly put together or anything like that, but I was thinking this. Okay, so look, got this amazing little reverb pedal in front of me here.
And Lee's maybe play this more appropriate guitar.
Yeah, we'll try some other guitars as well. I'm going to play a bit, Rob's going to play a bit, Rebeer's going to play a bit. I think we're all going to try and keep to the playing more than the talking, but just to give you the quick run through about what the sort of the 5 knobs on the pedal are doing. So the first thing that you've got to do is choose one of 7 different basic preset reverby type effects, and it's really really easy. There's a reverb with detune, which is kind of like another word for chorus, a reverb with echo, there's a reverb with shimmer effect, which is the sort of pitch shifted shimmery effect. Then you're into your traditional reverb, so spring, plate, hall and wet. These are all from Neunaber's incredible Expanse kind of software library. As you then select which preset you want, which type of effect you want, you've got a control for effects level, a control for the depth of the reverb, a control for the tone, and then you've got this additional control that does a different thing depending on what type of effect you've controlled. So you might be able to see, it's tiny writing on here, so you might be able to see down the right hand side of the pedal that on some of the effects it controls modulation, on some of the effects it controls pre-delay, low cut, shim level,
That's a
or
clever
reverb level.
Interface to get all the functionality from it, isn't it?
There's no way to connect this to your computer. There's no way to use it with their EXP pedal to dial up different presets. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I want to store 2 effects and be able to switch between them, you can't do that on this pedal. Unlike, that's where you want to go and look at the other pedals, because you can do that from the Neunaber range. This is literally a standalone pedal. So if you want to do 2 things, you just got to buy 2 of these pedals, basically. It's a beautiful soft click switch. It's not a latching switch. It's must be some sort of momentary switch. Stereo in, stereo out, and as I've mentioned, I think before, switches on the back to kill the dry through signal and kill the trails if you want to when you switch the pedal off. I have got the dry signal on and I've got the trails on.
So this is without the pedal activated.
This is one of the nice reverbs.
Oh my god, that's the sound of my wallet dying.
That they call the wet effect. There is actually
I can imagine that's the wet effect.
Yeah, there's a Neunaber pedal called the Wet, so I'm guessing that's kind of like, and that's super popular. Let's switch to the Hall reverb, so you can try that out. Very easy on this pedal to make it be like a regular reverb like you'd get through a guitar amplifier like I've just done there, or just with the crank of the effects mix button and the depth button, all of a sudden you're into that way big haunting kind of effect that wouldn't, doesn't really work as a band thing, but so works on sort of more instrumental kind of
It's
solo
so
parts.
musical that it makes you want to jam too.
So this is the same effect
is
just with a little bit more level on it. What's not to like? So here's a plate reverb if you want something a little bit more studio-ish sounding, I guess. Don't forget as well, this isn't just a guitar pedal. You put whatever you like through this. You put.
I thought you said this is an M&S guitar pedal.
No, I mean there's no reason why you couldn't put any kind
vocals?
of signal.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you had the levels, the signal levels right. Yeah, why not? Anything. Wowzers. Okay, spring reverb. I'm going to back the level off a bit now. This might be something, and we might even add a bit of distortion here, because this is probably something where if you're just trying to replicate not too much of an overwhelming effect.
Yeah, I'll back off the volume a little bit to give you some sort of slight
see what
crunch.
We've got here. We've also got interestingly, this additional control does what's called a low cut. So I'm guessing, perhaps tries to take some of that more rumbly element away of the reverb. So it doesn't discolour the sound of the guitar. Anyway, let's go back to clean. This is one of my favourite effects. Is the Shimmer Effect. This is a very musical effect that you really want to apply to those very haunting big chords. But I'm always a fan of this. It's like a choir of angels.
If I ever pass away, well, I will at some point, and angels sing.
You don't know what medical science is going to do.
Well, yeah,
you don't know what Neunaber might come up with next.
Yeah.
Might literally
the new body
in a pedal forever called the.
Where would my knobs be?
Called the Mummify. What do they call it when you freeze someone and they die?
Oh, please,
Cryogenics or
let's
whatever.
bring out a pedal and call it the Mummify. It'll be immense.
So that's Shimmer. So the next one is Echo and... oh no, there's two. Sorry, there are two modes of Shimmer. I wonder what the second mode. It sounds like the shimmer's at a different pitch.
It's beautiful.
It sounds like a lower pitch shimmer. Anyway,
Yeah.
so then we have echo with reverb. So it's mainly a reverb still, but with a subtle echo in it. So, and actually, the tone control changes its function on this one to become the echo time rather than the tone of the reverb. So.
Just like, but not quite like, the echo effect in Diablo 2, whenever you enter the town and you're talking to the woman that sells you the potions, and there's that haunting... It's the delay on top of it that makes it feel that way, which makes me feel excited about playing games.
Just do a quick tune before we move on to the next one.
Okay.
I suddenly felt that there was some...
Did you feel a disturbance in the tuning
a
force?
disturbance in the polytune.
Is it right to say that this guitar is so attractive it's putting me off?
Well, whilst Rob is doing that, I should say the reason I chose that guitar is it is essentially just a regular PRS Custom 24, if such a thing can be described as regular.
And he thought it was more appropriate than the Razorback.
But last year, PRS did this limited batch of colours called Burnt Amber, and I loved it so much I asked them to do another run just for me. So we've got about 6 of these in this just stellar colour.
That's horrible.
Which I love. It's like it's sort of going rusty round the edges, isn't it? But in a really nice way. All right, last one is the D-tune, which is a reverb with a sort of a D-tune chorus.
And again, sounds a lot like the production on John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. It does. It has the same delay and reverb qualities as the intro music to.
This is definitely.
It's raining.
This has to go on the board. This has to go. I mean, in fairness.
Talking of boards, Lee.
It's just great. I know we need to do another board challenge.
We need to do a new board challenge.
I know.
So if any of you guys can recommend pedals that you think you would like to see on our boards, we can take a little ponder and consider that situation.
I love reverb. I love the sound. I love all the expensive reverbs that you can go and buy. You know, and people like Strymon make spectacularly good reverbs. But you know what is great about this is that it's in a compact pedal format, which will appeal to some people. The price is a little bit more affordable.
Well, let's not kid ourselves. It sounds absolutely
It's just
great.
ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just sounds incredible.
It's a giant killer.
Especially the first reverbs we had there, the wets. That's what I want to really have a fiddle on myself, and let's get Reverb to do that too. Neunaber.